Hello, today I want to say a few words about Thanet Stand Up to UKIP. But first off, I know a lot of the people who are in the Stand Up to UKIP campaign, and 99.9% of them are good, highly principled people who just like me, oppose UKIP and hate everything it stands for. And I've got a great respect for many of these stand-uppers, and some of them are very close friends, although maybe not many of them after they've seen this video, says me jokingly. But those of you who do know me also know that when I've got an issue spinning around in my head, I have got no option but to speak out. And I really hope that what I've got to say won't offend people too much, and that what I've got to say won't come between any of those people in Stand Up UKIP who I regard as my friends, and perhaps we can continue to have the odd beer or three together. So what's my beef then? Or should I say, being a vegetarian, what's my salad with the Stand Up to UKIPers? Well, speaking frankly, and now that I'm no longer on the council, I can get rid of some of the airs and graces I've got to put on. I'm pretty pissed off with their claim that it was Stand Up to UKIP that prevented Nigel Farage from being elected as South Thanet's MP. They're calling the election result, Farage's election result, as their magnificent victory. The truth is, it was no victory at all, and to say otherwise is dishonest and misleading. What stopped Nigel Farage from being elected was 2,821 people voting Conservative. It's nothing whatsoever to have done with Stand Up to UKIP. It's all to do with Craig McKinley's election campaign, with David Cameron's Labour SNP scare stories, and the fact that the Conservatives were more trusted on the economy than Labour were. The truth is, despite their propaganda, the stand-uppers played no significant role whatsoever in stopping Farage from being elected. And if left of centre politics are to play any significant future role in this country, which I desperately hope they will, then they should be open and honest with people rather than being deceitful and misleading. And look at the price you pay if you're deceitful and misleading, like Thanet Labour Control Council. People rumble you soon enough. People don't trust you. So come on, Stand Up to UKIP, tell the truth. It wasn't your magnificent victory. And to be honest, and from where I'm standing, that rather than increasing the left of centre anti-UKIP vote in Thanet, the Stand Up campaign actually helped to increase vote for right-wing parties in Thanet. And people are saying it all over the place. Their vociferous demonisation of UKIP and Farage, their permanent shouty presence in Ramsgate town centre alienated more people than they ever won over. In my opinion, their campaign drew more attention to UKIP and Farage than was needed, and it was counterproductive. And if you add to that Ed Miliband's appalling election campaign with his tablets of stone and his fucking control fucking immigration mugs for £5 on their fucking website, and Will Scobie's "well, I'm the local geezer" with its undertones of anti-immigration as well, and Labour's shameful record in power at Thanet Council. If you add up these factors together, the Labour Party and Stand Up to UKIP actually contributed to a major, massive decline in left-of-centre politics in Thanet. And that's the truth. They, along with the Labour Party, were responsible for the left-of-centre MP vote plummeting from 31% of votes cast in 2010 to 24% last week. And also as well, it contributed, their activities, along with Labour's shameful record in office, contributed to the massive routing of Labour in the council elections from 24 votes down from 26 seats down to 4. But what makes me most angry of all is that some of the stand-uppers don't seem to recognise that what they've actually done. They think they've got some kind of fucking victory when even the most inept armchair general can see it was a fucking rout. And as my mum used to say to me, there's none so blind as those won't see. But it gets worse, a lot fucking worse. Instead of their packing their bags now the election is over, these delusional stand-uppers now think that after seeing off in their own sick fantasy world their defeat of Farage, they're now going to hang around and stand up to UKIP Thanet Council and try to hold the council to account. I mean, this is absolute bonkersville dangling fucking bollocks. Oh, what? Anybody with half a political brain can see that a UKIP-led Thanet Council is going to do all it possibly can to make sure that this newly captured flagship of a council will manage its affairs properly and efficiently. It's obvious that with everybody's eyes on them, this UKIP council is going to follow all the local government rules and regulations to the letter, and they're going to behave openly and transparently. And when you compare what they're likely to be like with the appalling shenanigans and abuse of power by the previous Labour-led Thanet Council, it's going to be the case that the UKIP council in Thanet is going to be a doyen of best practice when compared with what it was like under Labour administration. So setting yourself up as some sort of self-appointed UKIP council watchdog is a waste of fucking time that will attract no support from anybody. And don't forget, this is the first UKIP-controlled council in the entire country, and there's going to be lots of other people in much more positions of authority than stand up to UKIP council who's going to be watching them. You've got the council's monitoring officer, the district auditor, the council standards board, the council scrutiny panel, and of course the democratically elected opposition parties on the council, all of whom will be watching UKIP for any mistakes and any cock-ups or failures. And then on top of that, you've got the Tory-controlled Department of Communities and Local Government, who are going to be no friend of a UKIP council, and of course the local, regional and national press, who are going to be poring over every word said at Thanet District Council. So what's the point? Where's the value in an organisation which wrongly believed that it defeated Farage, now deluding itself that it can hold Thanet UKIP Council to account? Well, it didn't, and it fucking well can't. Now, if you really want to defeat UKIP, there's no such thing as a shortcut. Delusional self-aggrandisement and self-appointed holier-than-thou condescension simply don't work. And if you don't believe me, just look at what's happened to the Labour Party, especially in Scotland. The only sure way to defeat UKIP is through campaigning and setting roots in the community. And trust me, there's a desperate need for this in Thanet. To beat the UKIP and to beat Tories, we need to be campaigning against poverty, low pay, benefit sanction, the desperate shortage of social housing in Thanet, the second-rate education and healthcare services that are operating in Thanet. These are the issues which affect tens of thousands of people in Thanet, what they're interested in, their daily struggle to get by, not a fucking self-appointed UKIP watchdog. Get real. And there's also the major environmental issues to become involved in, like defending our fields and open spaces against the massive overdevelopment in Thanet Labour's local plan, which has been left as a toxic legacy, opposing the Parkway station, fighting the airport compulsory purchase order, defending equality and human rights, not to mention the desperate need to develop ideas for regenerating Thanet. We're living in extremely serious political times, and self-appointed gesture politics, tablets of stone and anti-immigration mugs produced by a bunch of wankers counts for nothing and leads nowhere. So I say, stand down, stand-uppers. You've had the moment in the sun, now it's time for serious political work to begin, and being a self-appointed watchdog of Thanet Council is only going to get in the way of the serious campaigning that's got to be done. Your time is over. You've created a false illusion about what you did. You're not needed anymore. So stand down, stand up.